Welcome to the Horror Hive channel, where the darkness and unknown come alive. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an episode of terror. Let's dive into the darkness together. Monsters and cryptids. In a remote village in the heart of the forest, there lived a family who had always been afraid of the creatures that roamed the woods. The villagers whispered of monsters that roamed the darkness, creatures with powers beyond imagination, creatures they called cryptids. One day, a young boy named Timmy disappeared while playing in the woods. The villagers searched for him but found no trace of him. A few nights later, strange noises were heard coming from the forest, howls of beasts and the sounds of things being torn apart. The villagers were horrified and feared for their lives. They closed their doors and shutters tight at night, but the noises persisted. The villagers couldn't take it any longer and decided to form a search party to find Timmy and put an end to the horrors once and for all. The search party found Timmy's torn clothes and a trail of footprints leading deep into the forest. They followed the trail and came across a clearing where they saw the most horrifying sight they had ever seen. Timmy was suspended from a tree by his arms, surrounded by large, beastly creatures. These monsters were unlike anything they had ever seen. They were covered in fur and had razor-sharp teeth and claws. The villagers were paralyzed with fear, but they knew they had to save Timmy. They stepped forward to face the beasts, but before they could act, one of the monsters spoke.
"Why have you come here?"
The monster asked in a deep, guttural voice. The villagers were shocked. They had never heard a creature like this speak before.
"We've come to save Timmy,"
one of them replied.
"You cannot save him,"
the monster said.
"He is one of us now."
The villagers were horrified. They realized that Timmy had been taken by the cryptids and was now one of them. The beasts attacked, and the villagers fought back with everything they had. The battle was intense, but in the end, the villagers emerged victorious. However, the victory was short-lived. They discovered that there were many more cryptids in the forest, and the horrors were far from over. The villagers knew that they would have to keep fighting to protect their homes and their families from the monsters and cryptids that roamed the woods. From that day forward, the villagers lived in fear of the monsters and cryptids that roamed the forest. They made sure to always have a weapon close at hand, and they never ventured too deep into the woods. The horrors of that day would never be forgotten, and the legend of the monsters and cryptids would be passed down from generation to generation. Ghost and Spectre Stories. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a group of people who all shared the same fear. It was said that there was a ghost that haunted the old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. The mansion was once a luxurious and grand place, but now it was nothing more than a decaying ruin, shrouded in mystery and rumors of the supernatural. The townspeople whispered that the ghost was the spirit of a young girl who had died in the mansion many years ago. Her ghost was said to wander the halls at night, searching for a way to rest in peace. No one dared to enter the mansion, for fear of encountering the ghost and never returning. However, one day, a group of friends, who were daring and curious, decided to investigate the rumors for themselves. They entered the mansion, and as soon as they stepped inside, they felt a chill run down their spines. The atmosphere was heavy with an eerie and foreboding feeling, and the air was thick with the smell of must and decay. As they walked through the mansion, they encountered strange noises and whispers that seemed to be coming from the walls. Suddenly, they saw a figure, shrouded in a white, flowing dress, appearing and disappearing before their eyes. The ghost of the young girl had appeared before them, and she was not pleased with their intrusion. The friends tried to leave the mansion as quickly as possible, but the ghost was blocking their way. They realized that she was not just a harmless apparition, but a vengeful spirit who was angry with the living for disturbing her peace. She began to attack the friends, with spectral hands that were as cold as ice. They tried to fight back, but the ghost was too powerful for them. One by one, the friends were claimed by the ghost, until only one was left. This last survivor managed to escape the mansion, but he was forever changed by the encounter. He was haunted by the ghost and her terrible power, and he never returned to the mansion again. The mansion still stands to this day, and the townspeople still whisper about the ghost who haunts its halls. Some say that the ghost is still searching for a way to rest in peace, while others believe that she will always haunt the mansion, seeking revenge on those who dare to enter. Regardless of what people believe, one thing is certain: the ghost of the young girl is a powerful and terrifying presence that should not be underestimated. The Curse of the Black Cat. As the sun set over the small town of Millfield, the darkness seemed to swallow up the once lively streets. People bustled about their business, hurrying to get home before the night took hold. But for one family, the horrors of the night had already come to call. The Blackwood Manor had stood on the outskirts of town for as long as anyone could remember. For years, it had been a place of fear and dread, whispered about in hushed tones. The story went that it was once home to a wealthy family, the Blackwoods, who had become rich through their connections to the dark arts. The family had disappeared one night, leaving the house to fall into disrepair and become a haven for the ghosts and spirits that lingered in the area. Despite the rumors and tales of terror, a young couple by the name of Jack and Sarah decided to take the chance and purchase the manor. They were excited about their new home and the opportunity to restore it to its former glory. However, as soon as they moved in, strange things began to happen. Doors slammed shut on their own, ghostly whispers echoed through the halls, and objects moved without explanation. One night, Jack and Sarah were awoken by a loud crash in the kitchen. When they went to investigate, they found their cat, Shadow, standing on the kitchen table, his eyes glowing a sinister red. Shadow let out an unearthly howl, and then vanished into thin air. Jack and Sarah knew that they were not alone in the manor and that they were being haunted by the curse of the Black Cat. The couple tried to leave the manor, but they found that they could not. The doors and windows were locked from the outside, and they were trapped. They could hear the laughter of the Blackwood family, echoing through the halls, taunting them. The couple tried to find a way out, but every door and window was locked tight. They were trapped in the manor, and the ghosts of the Blackwoods were closing in. Days turned into weeks, and Jack and Sarah were running out of time. They could feel the malevolent energy of the ghosts and spirits that surrounded them, and they knew that they were in grave danger. Then, one night, as they huddled together in fear, they heard a voice whisper,
The curse of the Black Cat can only be broken by a sacrifice. A sacrifice of pure blood and soul.
Jack and Sarah knew that they had to escape the manor, or they would be the next victims of the curse. They searched for any way out, and finally, they discovered a secret passage that led to a basement. There, they found a room filled with dark, magic books and artifacts. They realized that this was where the Blackwoods had practiced their dark arts. In a desperate bid to escape, Jack and Sarah made a pact. They would make a sacrifice to the spirits, in exchange for their freedom. They took a knife from the room and made a deep cut in their hands. As their blood dripped onto the floor, they invoked the spirits and prayed for their release. Suddenly, the doors and windows of the manor opened, and they were free. However, the curse of the Black Cat was not broken. It lingered, waiting for its next victims. To this day, the manor remains abandoned, and it is said that the ghosts of the Blackwoods still haunt its halls. Those who dare to enter the manor risk becoming the next sacrifice to the curse of the Black Cat. We hope you enjoyed our journey into the world of horror. We strive to bring you the best in horror entertainment, and we appreciate your support. Remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of terror. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in our next story.